Here's another example of how this defamation continues and the lies and the distortions. Chris Cuomo, who is the host on CNN's special report, this is last night, he interviewed the Lieutenant Governor of Indiana, Sue Ellspermann. He said, Lieutenant Governor, why did you make this law? What is the reason behind this law? Why did you stinking Nazis do it? He didn't say that, but based on the tweet from the babe at the National Bureau of Labor Statistics, this is what they think. So here's what she said.
It has a lot to do with the Hobby Lobby law because of Obamacare. And as that unfolded, we realized here in the state of Indiana that we did not have the state protection that paralleled the federal protections for religious freedom. And we're a state that really values those First Amendment rights.
Does anybody remember what Hobby Lobby was about? Would you tell me? I want to see if you do remember. I don't. There's no. Okay, that's right. Way to go. What the Hobby Lobby was all about was, Hobby Lobby is owned and operated and run by Christians, and they do not believe in abortion. And Obamacare was mandating that they pay for abortifacients for their employees. In other words, Obamacare was mandating that the people of Hobby Lobby pay their female employees for the ability to induce abortion. And they said, we're not going to do it. If you want to have an abortion, pay for it yourself. So the regime jumped right on them and said, what do you mean? The law is the law. To hell with your religion. The law is the law. And if your female employees or anybody want to induce an abortion, you got to make it available in your health care. And Hobby Lobby won the case. At the Supreme Court, and what she's saying here, we realized when that started happening, we don't have the same kind of protections in Indiana. We wanted to double down on them. All that everybody recognizes here is that religious people in this country are being ganged up on. There's no denying that because they are a majority, and as such, they're automatically considered to be oppressors. If you doubt me, listen to this next bite. This is what Cuomo said after Sue Ellspermann's answer.
I'm wondering if we are being open and honest about what motivated this law. You say, well, it's pushing for religious freedom. The original law was designed to protect religious minorities, Native Americans from smoking peyote, the Amish for having to put an LED light on their carriages. You're now empowering the majority, businesses, big groups, largely Christians. And that is going to be a very different impact.
Exactly what I told you yesterday. Exactly why these people are the enemy. They are the majority. And majorities, when the liberals are not in them, they're unjust and they're immoral and they're not to be permitted. They are to be destroyed. When the left is not in the majority that everybody's talking about, that majority is automatically an oppressor. It discriminates. It's mean-spirited. It's radical. It's extreme. It's all these things. And so he's saying to the lieutenant governor, well, what the peyote, Native American, the fact that they were a minority had nothing to do with peyote being exempted from the law. It was all about their religion. It had nothing to do with the fact they're Native Americans. And the Amish, LED, had nothing to do with the fact that they're a minority. It was all to do with their religious belief. No different here. Christians, these people that are being discussed, do not believe in gay marriage. They do not believe that homosexual marriage is legit. And they don't want to be forced to have to honor it. No different than the Indians. Hey, you can't deny me my peyote. That's part of my religious belief. And Clinton signed into law praising it and praising God and all of this. Chris Cuomo comes along exactly in his tiny little closed mind. There's no way a majority can be discriminated against. It's not possible. Majorities do the discriminating. Majorities are the oppressors. You're empowering a majority. Don't you understand what you're doing? You can't discriminate against a majority. You can't discriminate against white people. You can't discriminate against Christians. You can't discriminate against because they're the majority. This is exactly what they want everybody to believe. told you yesterday, I read some things about this. I wanted to get other points of view on this last night, so I found a couple of posts at the Corner National Review. And here's an excerpt, and I'm sorry this printed, but it did not print the author. The second one is Charles C.W. Cook. But I'm sorry, I wish I knew who wrote this. I could go back and look and find it. But here's just an excerpt. So what's really going on here in Indiana? What's really going on is a toxic combination of anti-Christian bigotry and sexual revolution radicalism. It is simply uninformed and bigoted to believe that Christians are somehow lurking in the shadows, ready to deny food, shelter, and basic services to their gay fellow citizens, blocked from such vicious actions only by the strong arm of the state. In my entire life as an evangelical, I have never met a fellow Christian who would not gladly serve a gay customer. If there are exceptions to that nearly universal rule, they are so marginal and marginalized, even in the Christian community, that they're not relevant. In fact, they're irrelevant, not only to Christendom, but also to the body politic. But the left, ever vigilant against group-based slights on behalf of favored constituencies, is only too eager to label Orthodox Christians as threats to the public. And this bigotry has a purpose. It serves to demonize the last significant constituency standing in the way of sexual revolution radicalism. Be right back, folks. Don't go away.